I mean, well, let's don't wishy-washy about it. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Man, I think they got billions of reasons to have an interest in who's there.
Is the NFL scripted? And I'm going to yell it a little louder because I don't think you heard
Okay.
me. Is
Okay.
the NFL scripted or is it not?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, so you're a flat earther, NFL
No,
scripted,
I'm
and we're
not.
going all the way that way.
I'm
All
not
the way
getting
with
into
the
all the other
conspiracy theory.
conspiracies, but sometimes when you start labeling yourself sports entertainment and there's billions of dollars on the line, I don't believe there's not some people, blowing some wind in the sail to make the boat move, if that makes sense.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What's happening, everybody? What is going on? Welcome back to Big B Daily. This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. We appreciate y'all being here. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. What is going on? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Got a good show today, man. Talking about LeBron James. Boy, he is hot about some of these mock drafts and about what they are saying about his son on whether that people should even be talking about it. Talking about the NCAA and the NIL rules. They're just absolutely out of control. Absolutely out of control. And it's about to get worse. And then the NBA, man, is it rigged? I know a lot of people throw out those conspiracy theories, and I fight against it. But then we see last night that Knicks Pistons game. That was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. We're going to get into all of that and more today, man. Let's get after this. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for the gifts on TikTok. Again, if you're on TikTok and you're not following, please give us a follow. We appreciate it. Keep tapping the screen. We want to get at least 5,000 likes in here. We're looking for badges. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. We got badges. We got sunglasses for badges. So please give us a subscribe if you're on TikTok as well. But also click that YouTube link in my bio. It'll take you right to the live over on YouTube. We appreciate everybody on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe on YouTube. Let's get into the show, people. Let's get into it. So LeBron James, he's upset. He came out with a tweet last night and then he took the tweet down. He is mad that on where the mock drafts have his son as a second round pick. So I defend LeBron a lot because I'm a LeBron fan. I think he's great. Whether I think he's the greatest or not is a different conversation. But I think he's great. We're going to miss him when he's not playing anymore. But LeBron is dead wrong on this. He's dead wrong. So the thing about LeBron is you can't be mad that people don't think that your son is a first round draft pick if he's not. And I think everybody can see with our own eyes that he's just not a first round draft pick right this second. Now, here's my question to everybody. Is there anything wrong with that? I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong that as a freshman, you're coming into your own, that you're not ready to be a first round NBA draft pick. I know the NBA will make you think that if you aren't ready by the time you're 19 years old, if you're not ready to be a star in the NBA, that you're not any good. I know the NBA will tell you that, but that's not the truth. And there's nothing wrong with Bronny James needing time to develop. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So, and it doesn't matter that he tweeted last year that his son could help and play right now. He was wrong then too. He was wrong then too. But LeBron can't be mad that people don't think that his son is the best basketball player out there. He can't be mad about that. And for him to go out and tweet and say, hey, just let him be a kid. Come on, bro. First of all, he's right about that part. but then don't bring it on. That's part of it. Now, here's the one thing that I don't like is that there are so many people out there that just hate Bronny James. They just despise him. But why? I mean, what did he do? I mean, Bronny James didn't, number one, he didn't decide to be born. Somebody had to do that. Number two, he didn't choose who his parents were. He didn't do that. He doesn't give interviews. So I would say 90% of the people in this world don't even know what his voice sounds like. And we have all this talk about why people despise him. I'm like, because he's not as good as his dad? Okay. Let me ask this question. Of great basketball players, and I'm talking about the greatest, how many of those guys have kids that are just as good as them? Or you could do it vice versa. How many kids, if their dad happened to play, how many kids are better than their parents were? I mean, they're never really equal. I mean, you could think, go across any sport. Where are they equal? I mean, like Barry Bonds' dad was good. Barry Bonds was way better than his father. People love Archie Manning. I think Archie Manning was pretty overrated, but it is what it is. Peyton is way better than him. Way better. You know, it just doesn't happen. So for people to just, yes, Steph Curry is better than Dell Curry. Dell Curry was a good basketball player. He was really good. His son is in the conversation of being in the top 10 of all time. You know, it's just crazy. It's just, I don't understand why people are so mad at Bronny James. Now, talking about him comes with the territory. Look, he's a celebrity's kid, whether he wants it or not. People are going to be mad, and they're going to hate him, and they're going to say, now, why they hate him is just stupidity. I don't understand. But LeBron can't be mad that his son is not NBA caliber. He just can't. You know? And he can't be mad when, just like somebody on TikTok pointed out, he's the one who tweeted out that his son could help an NBA team. He did that. Nobody else did that. That was LeBron. And now, because we see him on the court and we're like, oh, this kid needs some work before he gets to the NBA. Now you're mad about that? I don't get it. And like I said, I'm a huge LeBron fan. Huge, because I understand basketball greatness. And whether you think he's the greatest or not is irrelevant. But come on, man. You can't be mad when you put your son out there and then he doesn't live up to what you said about him. I mean, think about this. Remember LeVar Ball said that Lonzo would cook Steph Curry. He was better than Steph Curry. We gave Lamar Ball the blues, and we should have, because he was out of his mind. Isn't this kind of the same thing? I mean, seriously, isn't this kind of the same thing? To an extent. I know we don't want to classify Lamar, in the same realm, but I think it's kind of the same thing, in my opinion. I really do. So let's go to some comments here. My man Pat Cockrell on YouTube. He said, my problem with the whole thing is that Bron previously came out and said Bronny was NBA ready now. Now the boards have dropped him. Let him be a kid. Exactly, Pat. That's exactly right. Don't be mad because of what you did. You created some of this. You shouldn't be mad about that. You can't be. So you can't be. And there's, first of all, let me ask you all this. Of the people that are on YouTube and the people that are watching on TikTok, if somebody were to say that your son was a second-round pick in the NBA draft as a 19-year-old, would any of y'all be upset? I mean, I'm just asking, would any of y'all be upset? I'm guessing the answer is hell no. And I get it. He wants his son to be in the NBA so he can play with them. I understand that. But he also has to understand his son is just not ready yet. He's just not good enough yet. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with him not being ready. Look, don't fall for what the NBA has created. The NBA is telling you that if you're not good enough to play at 19, there's something wrong with you. That ain't true. That's not true. It's not true at all. You don't have to be to NBA ready at 19. What's wrong with being 22 or 23 years old? Oh, you're old. So at 23, let's just say I'm 23 years old when I'm ready to play in the NBA. I stay in college all that time, and I come out when I'm 23 years old. You don't think there's an NBA team that would say, hey, you know what? You've got some grown man strength to you, even though you still have a couple of years till you get to that. But we'll take 10 years of service from you. 10 years in the NBA. What's wrong with 10 years? Till you're 33. Is that a bad? I'm just trying to figure all of this out. So it's weird. It's just weird. A comment over April H says on TikTok says jealousy. It's a sad truth. It's sad, truthfully. Yeah, it is. A lot of people mad at LeBron James or mad at Bronny James, and they're just jealous. I mean, the only thing that I can say that he brought on himself is that he makes $6 million in NIL money. But even then, that's not his fault. He didn't make people give him the money. So, I mean, it didn't make him give him NIL money. Nobody made those people do that. They chose to do it because they chose to piggyback off of his stardom. And again, he doesn't give interviews. So it's not like he's putting himself out there. Every kid in the world has an Instagram account. So don't say, well, he's got Instagram, he's out there. Every kid that you've never heard of has Instagram. So that's my dilemma or my problem is that people bash this kid, and he is a kid for absolutely no reason. I know people are saying, oh, he's 19 years old, he's not a kid anymore. Yes, you are. So, yes, you are a kid. So I don't get it. It's just wild. It's just wild. Nobody is I just don't understand why you would bash him. He's just a kid. He's not, like I said, he didn't choose his parents. He didn't choose to inherit the amount of money that he's going to inherit. He didn't choose to be born. He didn't choose any of that. And for some people to just say you hate him, oh, I hate Bronny James. Can I ask why? A bigger question is, why do you hate LeBron? I get that you don't think he's the greatest basketball player in the world. And okay, you don't have to think that. Even if he says that he is, you still don't have to think that. You don't like his politics. Okay. So do you hate everybody that you don't like their politics? Do you hate that person? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then I get what you're saying, the herd or the heed. You're saying he could have told his dad to chill. At 19 years old, and again, I don't know anybody's personal situation, but when you were at 19, how comfortable were you with telling your father to chill? My dad was dead by the time I was 19. I wouldn't even walk to his grave and tell, hey, Dad, you need to chill. I mean, so let's not go that route and tell his dad you should have told your dad to be quiet. Really? Is that how it works? And again, that's not a knock on anybody else's situation. But I guess the better question is, if you have a kid and your kid at 19 comes to you and say, hey, man, you need to chill out, Dad. You're causing me all these problems. You need to chill out. How good would that conversation go? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But LeBron is wrong. And if you can't admit LeBron is wrong about this, then you're just, the fandom is too big. LeBron is just wrong. So rumors are Bronny playing bad on purpose so he can be undrafted free agent. See, it's that kind of stuff, Zach, that just don't buy into. He doesn't even get first of all, he's not playing bad. That would be the one thing. See, that's why you can't believe conspiracy theories. He isn't playing bad. He's just not playing a lot. But he isn't playing bad. When he's out there, he plays just fine. So Scott Smith says, wouldn't even get the words out of mouth before he shut it, talking about his dad telling him to chill. Exactly. Here's the thing about my dad. And again, he died when I was 15. But my dad never spanked me, never hit me. He never did any of that to me. It was all my mom. But ask me, did I test my father? No. Didn't even test the man. Because he coached football, and he used to take me with him to go watch football. And I saw what he did and said to those kids. I didn't want any part of that. I didn't want no part of that. So I know kids are different these days. I get all of that. But kids are only this way, and they're only different these days because of what parents allow them to be. I mean, you know, and it's weird that we say that, oh man, it was different when I was growing up, but now we're the parents that are allowing this. Wild. So again, there's nothing wrong with his son. Now, LeBron's going to have to come to grips with that. And I don't think he's come to grips with, maybe my son just isn't as good as what I want him to be. I think he can be good, but he isn't good right now. He isn't great right now, and he doesn't have to be. Thanks, Hoop Social. We appreciate it. Someone is going to take a second-round flyer on Bronny for a shot at LeBron. Who could? That'll be interesting because LeBron's going to opt out of his contract this year. Who would take a second-round flyer to try to just get LeBron to go there? I think there's a lot of teams that would do that. A lot of teams. Too. A lot of teams. And I mean, people saying that, oh, I don't want an old LeBron. Yeah, they would take an old LeBron. There's only about 4 or 5 franchises that would say no. And the Golden State Clippers the Golden State Warriors is not one of them that would say no. The Clippers might say no, but Golden State wouldn't. So somebody said it. LeBron going to the Warriors. I don't put it past him. So LeBron will go to Portland? I didn't say he would go to Portland. But I don't think Portland would take a second-round flyer on LeBron to get him. He wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. So that ain't going to help him. So that ain't going to help him. Bottom line is LeBron is wrong. LeBron's got to get over it. You brought this on him. You put it out there that your son could help NBA teams when you knew that he couldn't. And now this is the price that you pay. So this is the price that you pay. It's wild. It's weird, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'm a big LeBron fan, huge LeBron fan. However, LeBron in this case is wrong. Let's move on, people. Let's move on. So the NCAA is helpless in enforcing these NIL rules. If you all didn't notice, they had an injunction on Friday evening, came down late, where a judge in Tennessee basically said that the NCAA cannot enforce any rules when it comes to NIL. Just basically saying, hey, there's no rules. So if you want to use NIL to recruit people, which was already happening, NCAA tried to get in the way. A judge put an injunction that said, nope, you can't get in the way. And now it's just a free-for-all. I mean, it was already a free-for-all. Now it's going to be worse. It's just going to be worse. It is horrible what's going on in college athletics. And it's very, very simple. It would all go away if colleges just paid players, made them employees, made them sign contracts. All of that stuff goes away. All of it. All of it goes away. But they won't do that. They won't do that. And the NCAA is an absolute joke. They've been a joke. And now they're getting treated like they're a joke. Publicly. And this is what they fought for so long. And they were wrong. And they knew they were wrong, but they kept doing it anyway. And now the chickens have come home to roost. And the NCAA is paying the piper. Just make the necessary changes and keep it moving. If they do that, all of this other nonsense will go away. If you just make the change, just pay them. Make them sign contracts. Because that's part of what people and players are mad about. Is that coaches can leave whenever they want. Why can't players leave whenever they choose to? But coaches have contracts that get bought out. They just don't, hey, I'm done. We're out of here. That's not how that works. So if players are getting paid, which they would be, you got to buy them out if you choose to transfer. That would cut the transfer in half, the number of people that were looking to transfer. Because one, schools wouldn't want to buy them out. Two, kids will have a second thought about jumping in the portal. Should be no NILs. Should be no portal. Rags, you're wrong. You got to give kids an opportunity to make money. So, can't say, don't transfer. You go to one school and that's it. Come on. I get what you're saying. I get your point of view and respect it. I just don't agree with it. Basketball should have the same rules as football. It does. So, colleges for education, not money. Tell that to the universities that collect the money for you to go there, that it's not about money. If college isn't for money, then everybody should be able to go for free then, right? I mean, I'm just saying, if that's what college is for, why does college cost so much if it's not about money? Take athletics out of it. Let's not talk about athletics. If college is really about education, why does it cost so much to go to college these days? Again, I agree with your premise, but we all know that college is not for education. It is about money. So, basketball is the same. You're talking about NCAA. The NFL doesn't allow kids to go pro early. That doesn't have anything to do with college. The NFL says you can't join our league until you've been out of high school for 3 years. That's not an NCAA thing. That's an NFL thing. So imagine people thinking kids shouldn't make money off their jersey sales. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, you're using my name, image, and likeness to make money, and you don't think I should get any part of that. What if I just say, you know what? I'm not going to play anymore. I'm not going to play unless you pay me this amount to play. If you're making money, don't sell. I'm not allowing you to sell my jersey unless I get a cut of the proceeds. Yeah, it's crazy. So, just crazy. But yeah, the NCAA is out of control. They've lost total control of this thing. They opened up NIL and the transfer portal, told colleges to figure it out. Colleges don't want to figure it out. They just want there to be no rules. A judge apparently agrees with them. So we're going to see how all this turns out. Yeah, Chuck, you're right. It's a dumpster fire. It is absolute ridiculous. Greed, everything. It is crazy. So my man Pat Cockrell brings up a good point over on YouTube. He says we're in a capitalist country. Everything is a business. including college athletics. College athletics has been a business long before the transfer portal, long before NIL. It was just a matter of who was getting the money. It has been big business since the game started being on television back in the 60s. I mean, the money has just gotten better, but it's been big business since then. So don't blame the transfer portal or don't blame NIL for saying that college athletics is a business. It didn't just start now. It's been that way. It's been that way for years. And nobody cared until the players demanded a cut. And now that players are demanding a cut, now all of a sudden people are up in arms about it. Why? I just don't understand why people are upset that I mean, if it was tennis players and they're not in college, they get paid big money. If you're a track athlete or if you go play baseball, well, that's professional, Brian. You're right, it is. Well, then don't sell my jersey at college. Don't do that. If that's how you feel, don't sell my jersey. Don't sell the jersey with my number on it. Don't do that. Don't advertise me. Don't do any of those things. And then maybe people wouldn't have, or kids, players wouldn't have such a gripe. But we all know that's not going to happen. So it is what it is. It's out of control. My man Chuck Miller on TikTok says colleges themselves are businesses, even outside of sports. 1,000,000,000%. Colleges have big bit. Again, you go back to when I was in school, and again, that was 1994 through 1999. The cost to go to Kansas State, where I went to Kansas State at that time, was $8,000 a year for everything. It was $8,000. It's now 30. So what are we talking about? It's not, and here's the thing. I stayed in Haymaker Dorm. That's still there. I ate at Derby Dining Hall. That's still there. So it's not like they got these brand spanking new dorms. They got all this brand new, places to eat. And I'm not just ragging on K-State. I'm talking, this is universities everywhere. So, yeah, Haymaker, baby. I got some stories about Haymaker Hall. Now, I can't go into them because TikTok and YouTube would just throw me completely off the air and never let me come back. They would never let me come back, Steve. I got some stories for you. But I can't tell them. I can't tell them on the airwaves. I can't tell them on the airwaves. Ah, man. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So I appreciate it. We're going to move on. As a reminder, man, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, Big B Daily. We are live on YouTube. We are live on TikTok. Again, TikTok, might as well. We're past 5,000 in likes. Let's get it up to 10. Keep tapping the screen, people. Let's get it up to 10,000 likes. We appreciate it. And if you're not following, please give us a follow. We appreciate that more than anything. We got subscriptions available because we're going to have some exclusive content for you, especially around NCAA tournament time. We're going to have some exclusive content that won't be out there for everybody. Like, who do you pick? How do you pick? What should you look for? All those good things. So please subscribe if you're on TikTok to Big B's Sports Talk. We appreciate it. Just click the follow, man, and then subscribe. Plus, you get you a little sunglass as a badge when you subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Well, sunglasses. What's going on, Austin? We appreciate you, man. Frozen Hose, we appreciate you. We appreciate everybody in here, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you, and thank you on YouTube as well. My man Wakan on YouTube, come to YouTube. It's great over here. If you're on TikTok, all you have to do is click on that link. It'll take you directly to this live that we're doing right now. But anybody that doesn't catch it live, come and look at it later. But either way, We're having a good time. We appreciate it, everybody. Let's get to the last topic of the day, or the last topic before the Q&A section. Let me ask a question to everybody. Is the NBA rigged? Is it rigged? I used to fight all of that stuff, conspiracy theories, and for the most part, I still do. But did anybody happen to see that Knicks and Pistons game last night? If you didn't, YouTube it, whatever you need to do, go back and look at the end of that basketball game. And this is why people say that games are rigged, because the officiating. Oh my goodness. A man literally chop blocked somebody at the end of the game to get a ball. A referee was standing less than 2 feet away from where it actually happened, and it happened right in front of him. He did not blow a whistle. And then allowed the Knicks to get the ball. They were down a point. The Pistons, who I think have only won like 8 games all year, were in position to win a game if the foul was called. They don't. The Knicks get the ball. They throw it down low. Less contact happened on the shot than what happened when they're scrambling to get the basketball and they call a foul on the Pistons. The guy made the shot. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is why people get so mad and get so upset and come up with conspiracy theories that games are rigged. And it's like, and then they come out, they have that 2-minute report that they always come out with and say, oh, well, yeah, we missed the call. And the crew chief that night is the one who comes out with it. Yeah, after review, we missed it. The crew chief happened to be the guy that was standing less than 2 feet away from this play who did not blow his whistle. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Chuck Miller on TikTok says officiating in sports have been horrendous for the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about it is, if you guys haven't noticed, the most protected people in sports are officials. They are the most protected people in sports. Zero accountability. Zero accountability. If you're a coach and you coach bad, you get fired. If you're a player and you play bad, you get cut. All of them get scrutinized in the media, personally. Does a ref? No. And if you do make a bad call, and I happen to say something during the game, a ref will call a tech on you. So just so to compound things, you screw up a call, I go bananas, and then you compound the problem by, oh, well, you're out of control. I'm going to call a tech on you because I blew a call. Ridiculous. And then if I come out in the media and say, you know what, the refs jobbed us tonight. You saw it, I saw it, we all saw it, we know what happens. Then I get fined. So then you attack my livelihood. But does that ever happen to an official? No. Does the NBA come out and say the officials missed it? No. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And that's why people say that the NBA is rigged. And it's not just the NBA. NFL, obvious holding calls, guys getting strangled. Nothing. I'm like, well, you could call holding on every play. Okay, I get that. But on the obvious ones, it doesn't matter if they happen 10 plays in a row. You have to call it. You have to call it. You can't let guys get strangled on a football field. Well, we missed it. No, you didn't miss it. You just didn't call it. So they're saying in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs were holding immensely. Yeah, they held a couple of times and they didn't call it. Flat out, we saw it. The media should have the opportunity to talk to the refs. But the refs, I mean, the media does. The media has the opportunity. The refs aren't going to talk to them because they don't have to. So it's not like the media wouldn't talk to refs. The refs aren't made available. And even if they were, what are they going to say? But you're right. They should. They should make refs answer for blown calls. And again, nobody's asking a ref to be perfect. Just like you can't play perfect, you can't coach perfect. But then you also can't miss blatant calls at the end of games that decide games. You can't do that. That's your job. It's just like a basketball player. If you miss shots, your job is to make shots. If you miss shots, people are going to say, hey, man, this guy misses a ton of shots. He's not playing well. Well, if you miss a bunch of calls, hey, this ref is blowing a bunch of calls. He's terrible. So it's crazy. Wakan says, no, not rigged. The refs are incompetent, though. They need to be better trained. Yes. And I could have a whole show on officiating being bad. I could talk about that forever, man. About how the refs got to get younger, about how the refs, that players keep getting stay the same age, but the only people that get older are the referees. And has anybody ever heard of eye contact, your hand-eye coordination getting better, or your eyesight getting better as you get older? I don't think that's how it works. Or you get in better shape as you get older. How many times we've seen officials out here 65 years old running around with a bunch of 22 and 23-year-olds? I mean, so my man over here, Dr. Sweet, says the 49ers had holding calls too. We know that, my man. We were just bringing up an example. We get it. We weren't trying to badmouth your Chiefs, I promise. Refs getting paid to hold the whistle. If you all ever come to a game, and I might be streaming some of these NCAA tournament games, but I yell at the official. My claim to fame when I talk to an official, it's the same thing. My wife has heard it a million times, and I scream it at him, and I say this. Excuse me, Mr. Official, did you see the play? Now, here it is. I'm talking to the official like I'm standing right next to him when I'm at my house watching the game. And so let's keep it in context here. I am talking to the official like I'm just standing right next to him. And I say this, excuse me, Mr. Official, did you see this? How did you not see it if I saw it and I'm standing right next to you? Were you not watching? Here's the thing, Mr. Official. You see how my voice gets higher. Here's the thing, Mr. Official. They give you this thing that you put around your neck. It makes a noise. If you blow into that, a noise will come out. Blow the whistle. That's what I do to officials. Every game, I don't care what. I will say that. Blow into that. A noise will come out. Call the foul. I get after officials. I give them no slack. I get after officials as much as I get after players and coaches. I get after everybody. I don't let it. Frozen hose, yeah, brother. I don't let it happen. I'm tired of it. Let's move to the open mic session here. Yeah, officials are bad. It is what it is. What are you going to do? So I appreciate, again, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, please give us a follow. Keep tapping the screen. We're over 11,000 likes. Let's just try to get to 20. And we need at least 30 new follows. So please give us a follow if you're not following already. So my man Raina says there's always missed calls in sports. However, when it's blatant and not called, it looks worse. Yeah. So, and he said, why did I just start rapping? Blow the whistle. Yeah. Blow the whistle. Oh, I can't sing it because they're gonna find me. I can't sing it. They'll find me on YouTube. So I can't do it. But anyway, blow the whistle, referees. It's okay. A noise will come out when you do, and you have called a foul that should have been called. Nothing wrong with that. So, Mm, mm. Now, we got a question over here on YouTube, and it's asking about court storming. What is my take on court storming? And we covered this a little bit yesterday, but my take on court storming is I don't think that you should, again, I don't think you should take it all away. But the problem with court storming is very, very simple. It's not hard. Court storming is a cultural issue. And what I mean by that, it's 10, 15, 20 years ago, when people stormed the court, they were just running out on the court to celebrate. That's all they were doing. I think a lot of people have seen that old 1984 clip. The Celtics won Game 7 over the Lakers. Larry Bird just bowling over people to get to the locker room when they stormed the court. You know, things of that nature. That happened. But they were just running out on the court to celebrate. Now it's different. It's different for about 2% of the people that are storming the court. They're out there running to get in somebody's face. They're more worried about, I'm going to get my camera, I'm going to run right up to somebody that just lost a game and get right in their face, call them a loser, you lost, and get in their face. And if an athlete reacts, then they're in the wrong. It's all their fault. I think it's crazy. I think that's nuts. And that's what happened. I mean, we saw it. I don't know if anybody saw this, but if you didn't, go look it up on YouTube. It is a play where this year football game where Kansas upset Oklahoma. It's the first time they beat Oklahoma in decades. So they stormed the field. And I'm fine with it. Except there's a Kansas fan, an OU player is just walking off the field, not bothering anybody, just trying to walk off the field. Kansas fan gets his phone out, gets right in his face, puts an L sign up, loser, you're a loser. In his face, he's less than 2 feet away from this kid. Now, if the kid reacted, he'd be in the wrong. So what does he do? The kid stops. There happened to be a Kansas fan that was walking directly behind him who bumps into him. Then the Kansas fan that's behind him that gets bumped acts like he wants to fight the kid. And I'm like, the celebration is out in the middle of the field. The celebration is at the goalpost. Tell me again why you're in this guy's face. Because if he knocks you out, then you'll be upset wanting to sue him, the school, the athletic department. Call players are just a bunch of thugs. That would be the comments that we heard. Versus, hey, my team just beat yours. I'm going out here to celebrate. I'm a college kid. I'm going to have a good time. It's different, man. Things are different. And that's what I'm talking about. And you're right, Chuck. Soon somebody's going to get into the wrong person's face. They're going to get into the wrong person's face. And then all hell's going to break loose. They're going to get in his face, and then they're going to get knocked out. And then what are we going to do? Are you going to say, well, he should have never reacted? Or should we say, well, he shouldn't have been in his face? On my perspective, don't get in anybody's face. You don't know how somebody's going to react. You don't know what's going on with that person. Let me just ask you this question. Let's just say they lose the game. But earlier in the week, that same kid, what if he lost somebody close to him? Somebody died, like his grandmother or his mother, brother, father, son, something. What if that happened to him and he happened to be out there playing? And now you're in his face because they lost the game. And then he beats the ever-living shit out of you. Who's in the wrong? That's what I'm saying, man. Just, you got to stop. I mean, this culture, this phone culture, you got to stop. That's all I'm saying. You don't know what people are going through. Don't mess with people unless it's okay for them to mess with you back. And if it is, then be prepared to face the consequences. So, my man Abe over on YouTube says, what do you think of NFL salary increase this year? Is it one of the biggest increases? He's talking about the salary cap. I think it's great. You all know me. I'm pro player. Pay guys as much as they can. Except we got to stop paying all these mediocre quarterbacks all this money. Some owner has got to step up and say, enough's enough. Now, if you're a top of the heap guy, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, okay. You can pay those guys. But can somebody explain how Daniel Jones is making $40 million? I mean, how is Daniel Jones making $40 million? And I understand that, well, that's where the market is. The market is for the top quarterback. The market isn't for him. Not for him. So $40 million for that? And then people wonder why their teams aren't any good. It's because you spent $40 million on this guy who's a terrible player. Jeez. It's that kind of stuff. So you just got to stop. No, I'm not paying you that. I'm not paying you that. What have you done to say, give me $50 million just because you're the starting quarterback? No, I'm not doing it. And if you want to leave and go somewhere else, fine. But you got to stop paying mediocre quarterbacks all this money. Like Baker Mayfield, and I commend Baker for calling the shots. He bet on himself. But Baker shouldn't be trying to get $50 million a year. Or the better one is Dak Prescott. Yeah, Dallas is going to pay Dak $60 million. What? And again, Dak was really good in the regular season. He was really good. But is that what you want? Are you wanting to just be good in the regular season? I'm guessing not. And what I would say to Dak is, okay, Dak, we can pay you this $60 million. And we're only going to do it 1 year, though. This last year on your deal, that's all you're getting from us. Or we can pay you 40, put it over 3-year time period, and we can pay some other players to put around you because clearly the players that we have around you now, that wasn't enough. So we need to get more so we can be better. Or do you just want all the money? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's what I would tell Dak. I'd say, look, Dak, you're not getting $60 million. We're willing to give you 40. Now, if you want to stand on business, fine. We'll give you this 60 this year, and that's it. You will never be a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys again. All that endorsement money that you get for being the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, that all goes away. I would guess, and this is not even numbers that I know, but I'm just guessing with all the endorsements and his contracts, Dak Prescott's probably made close to $220 million. So if Dak now what's it worth to you, Dak? We'll give you 3 years, $40 million a year. Do you want that? And we can pay some other players so we can be better. We can get you another weapon. We can get another offensive lineman. We can get some more defensive guys. Or do you just want the money? And if you just want the money, I understand. I'm not mad at you. But you won't be the quarterback here anymore. At some point, somebody has to say no. And somebody just has to say no to all this madness. Who's it going to be? I don't know. I think Jerry Jones is in the perfect spot to say no. And you know how Jerry likes to talk publicly. Come out and say it. Hey, we want to win. We approached Dak and said, you can either take $60 million this 1 year and we'll give you 40 over 3, or you can take the 60 this 1 year and we're done. What do you want to do? And then move on. And then just move on. So that would be the conversation that I would have with Dak Prescott. And not just Dak. There's a lot of guys. A lot of guys. You know? And here's an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Everybody was rooting, well, I should say a lot of people were rooting for Lamar Jackson to get his money. Hey, Lamar, enough of this choking. It's time for you to put up, buddy. If you're going to lose in the playoffs, it shouldn't be your fault. Or you shouldn't be one of the culprits on why we lose. Enough's enough. I love Lamar Jackson. Want him to do well in every game he plays except against the Steelers. But enough is enough. You got your money. We're giving you weapons. It's time for you to be better when it counts. Or got to take a pay cut. Because what you have and what you bring to the table isn't enough to get us to winning a Super Bowl. So we need to get more guys. We need to get other guys. The only way we can do that is if we pay them, and we can't pay you what we're paying you because what you are making right now, it's not winning. So it's not winning. That's the whole key to all of this. It doesn't win. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's just my diatribe on salaries. I think once owners stop paying mediocre quarterbacks all this money, I think things will be better. So, is Fields coming to the Chiefs or coming to the Steelers? I hope so. I hope so. We got our residential hater, my man Boss Man, who comes in every single day to tell me that Kansas State is a joke, that Kansas State stinks, and we can't beat a backup quarterback. We love that guy. He comes in every day to tell me that. I love it. So, but I hope Fields does come to the Steelers. I'm done with baby hands Pickett. I'm over it. I'm over it. Fields to Miami, Tua to Denver. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, that's a good trade. I don't think it's going to happen, but I could see it. I mean, Sean Payton, he knows how to work with quarterbacks that don't have a strong arm. I mean, Drew Brees was outstanding in that system. So Tua could thrive. Tua could thrive. And as much as we don't like to say it, you put Fields in a read option with the running backs that Miami has, with the weapons they have on the outside, they would be a problem. They would be a problem. So I don't want to see that at all. I need Fields in Pittsburgh. I'll take Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. I don't know what people are talking about. I'll take Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh too. I'm just done with baby hands Pickett. I'm over it. I'm over it. So we appreciate everybody. We're going to shut this one down for the day, guys. So thank you, everybody, for being in here, man. Again, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. We appreciate everybody being in here. On TikTok, if you're not following, give us a follow. Also, click on the YouTube link. It'll take you right to the live, but you can go there and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. Same thing with anybody on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. We appreciate everybody. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. And aloha.